I welcome all of you in the another session of Transportation Engineering and Management. So in the last session, we have covered number of things. We have gone through various kind of speeds, and we have learned that in order to learn the subject of traffic engineering and management, it becomes necessary for us to understand the difference between various kind of speeds such as time mean speed, space mean speed, spot speed, running speed, journey speed. These are all the things. Now, as the name of the unit of this traffic engineering and management is what? The second module that we have been discussing about basic traffic flow parameter and traffic surveys. We have learned that traffic flow or volume means what? What is the meaning of traffic density? Now let us move towards the part of traffic surveys that carries an upmost important part. Now in this session, what we are going to cover is we are going to begin with the traffic surveys. We cannot cover the surveys in the single lecture, single session. So we are going to cover the topic of traffic surveys, and then we will cover about the traffic volume surveys. So let us first learn about traffic surveys. See, as the name suggests, the surveys which are being carried out in order to collect the traffic data, in order to analyze the traffic, in order to propose the mitigation measures, those surveys are called as traffic surveys. These traffic surveys are of various types, and there is a shortcut key through which you can remember this thing, that is called as VSF OPAC, where the V stands for traffic volume studies, S stands for traffic speed studies, O stands for origin and destination studies, F stands for traffic flow characteristic study, P stands for parking studies, A stands for accident studies, and C stands for traffic capacity study. So various kind of traffic surveys as far as Bachelor's of Engineering is concerned are VSF OPAC, VSF OPAC, VSF OPAC. V stands for volume, S stands for speed, O stands for origin and destination, F stands for flow characteristics, P stands for parking study, A stands for accident study, and C stands for traffic capacity study. After all these things, all the surveys are important, but as far as your syllabus is concerned, traffic volume studies, origin and destination studies, and parking studies play an important role. So these are the major important things. We'll try to cover all the things in brief, but on these three things we will have our major focus on. Let us begin with the answer of why. We know that in order to learn any of the subject, I have already mentioned that we have to know the answer of what, why, and how. First of all, we have to learn that why, the answer of why. Why do we need to learn that? What is that? How can we learn that? So let us learn those things. The segment name is use of speed, journey, and time and delay studies. So why it is important for us to learn the speed, journey, time, and delay studies? So these are various important things, but these things are segregated into two major segments. First is for speeds, and second is for journeys, time, and delay studies. So this is the first thing, and this is the second thing. Okay, let us begin with the first thing. Let us discuss about the spot speeds. We all know that the spot speed means the instantaneous speed of the vehicle at the particular section of the road at the time. That is called as spot speed. We have learned this thing in the last session itself. Now what do we mean by spot speed? So let me tell you that why do we need to learn this spot speed or speed studies? In order to improve the geometric design of road. You have learnt about the detailed explanations of geometric design such as classification of road, cross-sectional element of road. You have learnt about super elevation, horizontal curve, vertical curve, then side distance, SSD, OSD, ISD. You have learnt about the mechanical widening, psychological widening. All these things have been covered. Gradients, vertical curve. Now all these elements are covered in geometric design of the road. So in order to improve and in order to improvise the geometric design of the road, in order to provide a better geometric design of the road, we have to have the knowledge of spot speed. Spot speed is required. Without getting the knowledge of speed, will not be able to design the elements. And majorly, in order to have the realistic estimate, not the theoretical or hypothetical, if we want to prepare, if we want to make a plan of road, efficient road plan, we have to have the realistic estimate. And for that, we have to have the proper selection of design speed and the design of various elements that I have already mentioned. So the first thing is the answer of Y is for the geometric design of road. Second is about the traffic regulation and controls. Now you have learned about the traffic sign and signals, various kind of pavement markings, signals, signs. So in order to establish the safe speed limit, the modes of safe speed limit determine that okay, this is the accident prone zone, okay, this is the non-accident prone zone, this is the higher speed limit, this is the lower speed limit, this is the traffic signal, this is three-phase signal, two-phase signal will be there. In order to design these things, that which kind of sign you are going to provide, what type of sign you are going to provide, you need to have the proper knowledge of speed. Then let us take an example that if there is a road and often it happens that number of accidents occur on that particular road. So in order to improvise that situation of accidents, to reduce those accidents, to conduct the accident study, we need to have the speed data, because it may happen that the vehicles are overspeeding. They are not driving those vehicles, their vehicles in the prescribed limit, and those are the reasons of the accident occurrence. So in order to conduct the accident studies, to identify the causes of accident, identify the relation between that okay, this is the relation between speed and accident, higher speed are causing accident, lower speed are causing accident, that cannot happen actually. But the relation between speed and accident, to determine the congestion issue, we need to have the speed data. For journey speed and delays, that is the second segment. See, you all know that whenever there is a journey and if you want to complete that journey in a shorter time, you have to spend more cost. If you want to go from Ahmedabad to Mumbai in train, that will cost approximately under 1000 rupees. If you want to go from Ahmedabad to Mumbai in plane, that will reduce your journey to 1.5 hours. Then it will approximately 10 times more than that. So the cost of journey, we know that the higher the speed, higher the cost. So in order to establish the economic studies, we need to have this journey speed and delay data. Journey time studies, that okay, this is how much time is being considered from reaching from this point to this point. Let us take an example. There is a stretch called Golden Bridge. That Golden Bridge is situated on the Bharuch, in the Bharuch Surat region on the Narmada river. The congestion issue is being resolved for last many years, but before many years, it was happening that whenever you are moving in any of your personal car, private car, or any of the public transport vehicle from this Baroda to Surat, there is fixed delay, fixed congestion of minimum 1 hour, maximum 2, 3, 4, 5 hours on that particular bridge. So in order to learn, in order to analyze that, okay, what are the reasons behind this congestion, we have to go through this. Then there is a thing called level of service. Level of service does not mean servicing of vehicles or servicing of road. Level of service represents the quality of road, the comfort of the vehicles. Means whenever you are driving on a road, and if you experience number of potholes, number of deterioration, then you will say that okay, traveling on this road is not comfortable. That comfortable criteria is related with the LOS, that is called as level of service. That we will learn in detail in the future segments. Then, in order to assign the new trips, in another subject of transportation, such as urban transportation planning, that is the subject that you are learning, you will learn. In that subject, there are 4 modules, that is called as trip generation, trip distribution, modal split, and route assignment. Means if I, as a planner, if I am constructing a new road, I have to have the knowledge that okay, this road will pass from this point to this point, this many vehicles will generate their tips from this point to this point, this will be the origin, this will be the destination, these are the routes that I should provide, this is the travel demand modeling. And in order to conduct this travel demand modeling, that you will learn in detail in that another subject. That is what the name of the subject is, urban transportation planning, UTP. The data are required. You will learn certain surveys in that also. Now let us begin with the first letter of our survey, that is traffic volume studies. VSF volume, speed, flow characteristics, origin and destination, parking, accident, and traffic capacity study. The first stands for V and V stands for traffic volume study. See, first is about the object. That why do we need to learn this traffic volume study? So, traffic volume is the true indicator to decide whether the road is important for the expansion or not. If the road should be widened or not, whether the road is being used by people or not. Traffic volume studies data are required to plan, control and operate the existing facility also. To plan and design the new facilities, that okay, this kind of vehicles are traveling on this road, so this kind of flyover or bridge should be constructed. So without having the traffic volume data, we will not be able to do that. To analyze the traffic pattern and trend, that okay, from the hours from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. people are traveling on this road. Then classified volume count is required. Classified volume count I will explain in detail in the next slide itself. Then comes the planning of sidewalks, that means the footpath, crosswalks, that means the zebra crossing and subways. Turning movement study, the intersection design, the crossing, such as Darpan Circle, Navratpura Circle, Shyamal Crossroads. These are the intersection design, these are the crossings. It's common. Then types of vehicle using the road. By having the volume count, we'll have the knowledge that okay, higher amount of two-wheelers are traveling, lesser amount of rickshaws are traveling. So this is about it. In order to conduct the traffic volume study, we need to have the class of vehicle. Class of vehicles means okay, car is a class of vehicle. Then bus is a class of vehicle. Then motorbike is a class of vehicle. So which kind of vehicles are traveling? Then comes the number of vehicles. That okay, this many number of vehicles are traveling. The vehicles are traveling from this direction or into this direction. The peak hour period count means in the morning 3 hours and the evening 3 hours. That may be varying according to the situation. That data should be collected. So, in order to count the traffic volume, various studies are being done. Mechanical counters are there, means that they are also called as automatic counters or recording counters, in which the human intervention, human interference is not required. Manpower is not required. And manual is there, in which people are required, human resources are required. There are two types of mechanical devices, fixed devices and portable devices. Fixed means they cannot be moved from one place to another. Portable means you can pack those vehicles, pack those tools, pack those devices, and you can transfer it from one place to another. The mechanical counter automatically records the number of vehicles crossing the road. They are working on various kind of principles that we will learn in detail in the next slides. They are working on the principle of impulses, stimuli. Stimuli means stimulus, means if this is my hand, this is my bare hand and no object is being placed on my hand. If any of the object is placed on my hand will observe that okay, a stimulus is observed. Stimulus means putting an object and experiencing the effect. So, whenever a road is there and a vehicle is traveling like this section will experience certain effect that is called as impulses or stimuli. Various advantages of mechanical devices are there, such as they can work during day and night, 24 hours duty they can do. They cannot get tired or bored. Supervision is not required because they will work very efficiently, and they are suitable for the long amount of counts. Disadvantage is also, it is not possible, the device cannot measure that okay, car has passed, two-wheeler has passed, rickshaw has passed. So these are various kind of classes of vehicle. and these are only observed by humans. As far as your syllabus is concerned, the device will not say that the vehicle has turned from after crossing this point into right direction, into left direction. So turning movement data will not be there. If any person is traveling and if the person do not touch on the particular device, then it will not record the movement of that particular person, that is called as pedestrian, or the person who is walking on the road. Whereas in manual, the team of people is there. Members of field team collect the data. People are there. Advantages such as the disadvantages of this thing are covered in this, and the advantages of this thing are covered in the disadvantage, like this. So classified data can be collected, turning movement data, directional count can be collected, number of vehicle occupants can be counted, that okay, this vehicle has 4 passenger, this vehicle has 5 passenger. Disadvantages, it cannot, people cannot work for 24 hours. We cannot work for 24 hours. We cannot be alive for 24 hours. We cannot stand to get the road surveyed for 24 hours. It is very tedious, laborious and costly job, because the people you are hiring, you have to spend allowances, you have to give them money, you have to give them food, you have to give them what I can say, residence, temporary residence, quarters to live. So it is quite laborious and costly. So everything in this world, every point has two sides, plus and positive and minus. Mechanical counters are having certain advantages and certain disadvantages, and manual are also having certain advantages and disadvantages. Let us learn about the mechanical counter. First is called as pneumatic tube. Pneumatic tube is placed on the road. It is like this. This is the pneumatic tube. See this 2 point. You can observe like this. It is like this. If you zoom into it and then it will be like this. These are the pneumatic tube. What happens in this? When the vehicle crosses the particular tube, the sensors will send the burst of air pressure. Means if this is the tube and my vehicle is traveling on this, my vehicle's wheel will compress this tube, and this compression will send the signal that okay, this kind of vehicle has passed. So this is called as pneumatic tube. If we talk about this tube, then these are the criteria. That it is approximately 10 to 12 mm diameter, means of approximately 1.1 to 1.2 centimeters, 3 mm thick. Its one end is sealed and another is clamped to the road surface at the right angle to the pavement, like this. One end is sealed and one end is clamped on the road surface. So it works like this. This is about the first method, that is called as pneumatic tube. Its another end is connected with the counter. So the counter will show the ECG like this, that okay, 1 vehicle, 2 vehicle, 3 vehicle, 4 vehicle. So this shows, this is just a representation in order to let you understand this thoroughly. This is how it will count the number of vehicles. Now comes the second thing. But before moving to that, let us discuss about the pneumatic tube. There are two types, fixed and portable. See, it is like this. It is clamped on the road like this. The second is about the electric contact device. As the name suggests, electric contact device. What it will do? A pair of steel strips are contained in a rubber pad. A rubber pad will be there, under which the steel strips are there, like this. If this is the rubber pad, these are the steel strips, and they are buried beneath the road surface. Whenever the vehicle passes through this, they will be pressed by the weight of moving axle of the vehicle, and they will cause the current. Whenever the strips are compressed like this, it will cause the current to flow, and this is how it will indicate that okay, a vehicle is passing. Third is about coaxial cable. Coaxial cable works like the pneumatic tube itself, more or less. It is a bit different. It is clamped along the road surface. Signals are generated when these cables are passed over it. They are less susceptible to damage because these cables are of higher durability as compared to the pneumatic tube. Then comes the photoelectric device, photo plus electric plus device. How it works? It works like this. See, this is the device. Device 1, device 2. And these are the cars that are moving. It looks like this. This is the particular clamp, and here the electric contact devices are placed. How does it work? Let me tell you. That on the end of the road is a source of light. This is the source of light. Like this. That emits the beam across the road. Means the light will be emitted from this point to this point. It will be in this direction. Whenever a vehicle is crossing this direction, the light will be absent because the light will be on the car, it will not be reflected over here. So the number of times the light is not being reflected will detect that okay, this much number or this many number of vehicles have passed. So the passage of vehicles in the path of the light will obstruct the beam and it causes detection by the photo cell. So this is how it works. It is very easy. It can also caused by pedestrian also. So this may cause the issues, error, because whenever a person sees, it is like this. See, this is the light beam. This is the road. This is the light beam. This is the photo cell. Light is reflecting from this point to this point. If a car is moving, the light will be obstructed. It will not reach over here, so it will detect the movement. If a person is walking, then also it will obstruct, so it will not detect the movement. So it is like this. The error can be caused. Then comes the radar, radio detection and ranging. The full form of radar is radio detection and ranging. How does it work? It works on the Doppler effect. See, it works like this. See, you have observed that whenever you are standing on a particular place and if an ambulance is moving from far, it sounds very different. It will have the sound of siren. Next time from today onwards, observe that whenever it is at the farther places, the sound will be different, and whenever it is in front of you, the sound will be different. So that is called as Doppler effect. Such as example as ambulance I have already mentioned. That the Doppler effect, what does it happen? It compares the frequency of a transmitted with the transmitted frequency of the reflected. Means the frequency which is transmitted and the frequency which is received. Continuously the particular signal is transmitting, receiving. And whenever a moving vehicle interrupts the signal, the frequency will be vary because see, this is the light beam, this is the receiving, transmitting, receiving, and one car is passed like this. So there is a difference between this frequency. That is how it will detect. Then comes the radar. So it is like this. Sometimes it is horizontal mounted like this. Sometimes it is overhead mounted like this. In both the cases, it is like this horizontal. And if it is like this, it is like this. So it is like this. Now then comes the infrared. Infrared, how does it work? So it utilizes the pickup cell. It is similar to that photoelectric cell that I have already mentioned, but it is sensitive to the infrared. Infrared stands for heat. The unit is mounted on the road surface of the bridge or sign structure. Whenever the sign is there that okay, this is the speed limit, the radar will be there. So it will be like this. See, this is the emission, this is the receiving. Emission, receiving. So it will detect the change in the frequency. Then comes the magnetic device. As easy as the radar, it will the particular beam will cause the magnetic field, and whenever a vehicle is moving, it will disturb the magnetic field and it will detect the movement. And then comes the ultrasonic device. It is similar to radar, that the beam crosses the road and it is broken by the passage of vehicle. It is also like this, like radar itself. See, it is same like this. Let me show you. Like this only. This is the colorful representation, and this is the black and white representation. Fine. So this was all about the traffic volume count. There are other methods also, such as moving car observer method, video device method, that we will cover in the next session. Thank you.